Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Whew! Clearly, my voice hasn't woken up yet. Wow, it's a little loud. Let me turn that mic down. It feels very, very loud. I hope you are having an awesome morning. Good morning. What a great way to start the week. Today is November 7th. November 8th. Tomorrow's my birthday, so make sure you tune in tomorrow for a special birthday stream. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I'm just letting you know it's tomorrow. And so feel free to send birthday wishes, hugs, and I accept presents in all forms. Okay. So welcome to another Me First Morning. I am really so happy to be here. And I can't wait to get started. So let's do that. Please, if you are on YouTube or if you're not on YouTube, get onto YouTube and subscribe and press that notification button, which is that little bell. Just ding it so that you can get notified of when the show is on. And check out all my other social media. I'm on Soul Seekers TV on Facebook and Instagram, Goddess Gatherings Long Island. You can find us on Facebook, and Jumpstart for Change, of course. You're either watching it on this page right now or my personal page, but follow the business. That would be great for your support. And I'm also on TikTok. So you can look for me there at Calibrate Your Energy. Woohoo! All right. Anyway, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Patricia Ribeiro Wolfson, and I am the host of Me First Mornings, of course, but also of a show called Soul Seekers TV. I'm an intuitive coach and an energy healer, a wife and mom of 3 boys, and that is very much a big part of my life, which is why I mention it. So my mission is to teach you, number 1, how to calibrate your energy. Number 2, how to integrate self-care into easy and doable steps. And number 3, how to embrace your own natural gifts to achieve the life you love. That is my goal. That is my mission. And most importantly, to let you know there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. You just gotta have to figure out how to set things up so that you can achieve a life that thrives and has success in the way that you imagine it. All right. So, here on Me First Mornings, what I like to do is we first do a little breathing routine, get ourselves centered and focused so we may begin our day. We'll set a little intention, and then I'm going to talk about the GPS formula. So let's do that. I just learned how to use captions. Look, here we go. Can I show it? Can I show it? Yes. How does the GPS formula work? So if you watch the show, last time I talked about the GPS formula and what it is and sort of how I came up with it. And today I'm going to tell you a little bit about more specific about how the GPS formula works. Specifically the GPS part, not the Me First part, which I did say was an acronym. And Me First, the acronym stands for momentum, energy, frequency, and focus kind of work hand in hand. The inner work, relationships, stepping it up, and trust. And we will be talking about that in great detail this week. That is going to be my focus, really teaching you all about that. The other thing is, I did prepare a GPS workbook. If you want a free workbook so that you can kind of work through this stuff on your own, feel free. Just go to bit.ly/GPS workbook and you can download your own free copy of this workbook. I do this with my clients. I have one-on-one sessions with people, and we go through these questions together in order to establish a good foundation. You are welcome to do it on your own. You don't necessarily need me, but if you do, there's also ways to contact me through there. So please go ahead and download that whenever you can. All right, now let's get started. Sorry, guys, I'm working with the computer here. Lots of things going on in the background. I am my own producer here. Okay, anyway. All right, so let's begin. We're going to have our peaceful beginning to our morning. And we're going to begin with the candle. So we're going to light a candle. I like to begin with lighting the candle because any sort of intentional sacred ceremony, the candle is a good way to begin, to set the sacredness of the ritual. And also I always find that the candle is a good reminder that, our life has light. And I also like to do stuff like this outside. I've talked about it before. So the flame can represent a flame, can represent the sun, can represent heat, warmth. It can kind of represent whatever you want, but I really love starting any sort of session with the candle. So we've done that. I also personally like to use essential oils. Depending on my mood, I will pick the one. I usually use sacred frankincense, but I guess I took it this weekend and I forgot that I didn't bring it back. So I'm going to actually use a rise. So this is a doTERRA blend, I guess, called Arise, and it's part of their yoga collection, which I really like. It's very citrusy. It's kind of got that like wake you up in the morning feeling. So I like to do that. I put it on the back of my neck and I take a good strong whiff because it infuses me with that brightness that's the citrus scent often does. Oh, wait, I don't have the chat open. So say hello. Oh, now I have the chat on. Say hi if you're watching. If you're watching the replay, just put on hashtag replay. Let me know that you are here, and say hi. Good morning. Okay. So now it's time for 3 deep breaths, all right? So this is just something easily you can do on your own without me, or you can do it with me every morning, Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. And what we're going to do is we're going to take these 3 intentional deep breaths. And with those 3 breaths, and you can take as many as you want if you're doing this practice on your own. It doesn't just have to be 3. I kind of do everything in threes. I would pick like 3, 6, 9. That's my own thing. But I share it with you because, it's about putting myself first here. So I'm going to share with you what works for me, and then you figure out what works for you, of all the things that I talk to you about or of the tips and tools and strategies that I share. So we're going to do 3 deep breaths. And when we're taking these deep breaths, I want you to imagine sort of just opening up your all of your senses, just like waking up to the power of healing light that comes from the heavens. And just imagine almost like the sunlight coming down and beaming into your body, all the power of the sun, that healing life force energy. And at the same time, I want you to imagine your legs are going to be like straws, right? Your feet well planted on the ground, and your leg, like straws, is going to pull up the healing energy from the earth. So you're going to focus on, doesn't have to be at the same time. Maybe that's going to make you feel a little kind of crazy, like, oh my God, I got to think of the top and think of the bottom, or think of the light on, through my head and through my feet. But really, it's kind of like, just do it in whatever way works for you. Imagine it and intend it in whatever way works for you. Just calling in the energy from the heavens, bringing in the healing energy from the earth, and allowing that energy to sort of blend in your body, permeate every part, every cell, and just energetically scrubbing any energy that is dense, heavy, thick, stagnant, anything that doesn't feel right. And just intend that healing energy from the heavens and from the earth is going to do its job and cleanse your inner energetic spirit, right? So, I mean, like your energetic body is really out here, but we're just going to imagine that it goes in and just kind of cleans out what doesn't belong. And the exhale is going to be releasing what doesn't belong. Okay. So I am going to use my crystal spheres today. So I like to use these clear quartz spheres and hold them on my, just hold them on my thighs, okay, and just put my hands down. You can put your hands wherever they feel comfortable. You can hold them in a mudra if that feels more comfortable, or if that's something that you like to do. But let's just take these 3 deep breaths together. We're going to breathe in, hold for 5 seconds, and during that time, imagining that all of that healing light is scrubbing away all of that energy that does not serve us, and then we're going to release it, okay? Here we go. Hold and release. Great. Okay, now once again, breathe in. And I want you to just bring in as much energy as you can, beginning with your diaphragm and then moving up your chest, just expanding, pushing the limits, really expanding that breath, holding your breath. Imagine all of that cleansing happening on the inside, and then breathe out. Okay, we're going to do that one last time. Make it really good. Okay, it's a good scrub of that energy, and we want to just release what does not serve us for the day. Ready? Deep breath in and hold and release. You may feel like when you're breathing in, like you kind of got that tension. So just now that we've released it, we're going to do a little stretching just so that we can continue to kind of loosen up any tightness, any stiffness, any sort of, stuck, stagnant energy from our muscles. And we can just stretch. Now, I'm doing this because this is what feels good right now. Depends on how you're feeling, what's hurting. You can stretch your head, your neck, okay, your arms. You can slowly stretch every part of your body. If you're not doing this with me, but you're doing this on your own or you're watching this in a replay, feel free to press pause and then just continue stretching until you feel complete with the stretches, until you feel like you have kind of covered all your bases and you're feeling a little bit more limber, right? So once that happens, when we're done with our stretching, then we shake it out, okay? We just shake it out. Just, yes, feel the looseness, feel the lightness. Feel how everything just feels a little bit better, right? That's the goal. All we want to do is continue to move towards the feelings we want. We may not be there yet. We may not, if we want to feel relaxed, we may not be completely relaxed, but we want to move in the direction of relaxation. And so we want to take the steps, every step that we take, we want to think, okay, I want to bring myself closer to relaxation, or I want to bring myself closer to, not feeling stress, right? So releasing the stress, releasing the anxiety, releasing the overwhelm, just the things that don't serve us, that stop us from functioning in our day. That's what we're trying to release. And now just take a couple minutes and, or take this time, it won't be a couple of minutes because I'm going to keep going, to just set your intention for the day. What is it that you want to accomplish today? And I'm going to talk about the GPS word today, so that will give you sort of an indication of, what to connect your intention to or what to keep in mind when you're thinking about your intentions. But for right now, just think like, I really want to have a peaceful day, or, whatever it is you need to accomplish today. Do it with love and compassion and set that as your intention, or set the intention that feels good to you today. Okay. So I'm going to say a prayer and set the intention that all of our intentions will be sort of held sacred, maintained, and also followed through, that we will follow through with all our intentions and we will get the support of, the guides, the angels, the spirits, God, whatever that you believe in on this spiritual journey. Okay, so let's do this together. Divine Mother, Infinite Father, Creator, Ascended Masters, Archangels, Spirit Guides, Ancestors, and all beings of 100% pure white light, allow me to be a clear and open channel of your light and love without hesitation or ego. May the highest vibration of infinite consciousness connect with my higher self and release any and all things that no longer serve me. I ask that Saint Germain and his infinitely powerful violet flame burn away all the things that no longer serve myself or humanity and hold us back from our divine existence. Help us to embody our intentions for the day and help us raise the collective vibration for the highest and greatest good of all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, and so it is. Okay. All right. I'm so excited. Let's get going. All right. So let's get going. I'm going to pull a card. Okay. Where are the cards? Right here. Okay. So we're going to pull a card, see where the energy is for the day. And in the meantime, I am going to talk about the GPS system. All right. So what about the GPS system? Okay. So how can you what's the deal with the GPS system? Now, you know what GPS is, and we talked about it on Friday a little bit about, sort of GPS is inserting your coordinates, right? And so I think that's something that we need to do each and every day, is we need to sort of plug in our coordinates for each day. And that's how the GPS formula works, is really an intentional setting of your coordinates. So I I really believe that we are born with a foolproof internal system to lead us in the direction of our deepest desires. Like, I really believe that we have an internal system that lets us know when we are getting closer or further from our goals. We are always connected to source, okay? And we may feel a closer connection or a further connection, but the connection does not go away. We can block it. We can sort of pinch it, so to speak. I think that's a lot of what Abraham Hicks, if you follow Abraham Hicks at all, um, they often discuss how we, us as humans, we pinch the source. The source is always flowing, right? Like a water hose, right? So you have a water hose, and if you imagine that, we always have access to that water hose. But if you, kind of put it together and we kind of pinch it and you stop the water from flowing, it's not that the water's not in the hose, it's that it's not coming out the bottom because we have stopped it, we've pinched it. And so this GPS system is a way for us to keep that flow, right? Is to remind ourselves, what is it that we really want? What is it that we're going for here? What is the focus of our day? And keeping that water flowing is so important. Keeping that source energy flowing through us, because it's there and we have access to it. And it's a way that we can communicate with the universe and, letting whatever it is that you believe in, letting our guides, letting, the universe know what our intentions are through our actions. Okay. And this is something that I take very, very seriously and that I work with my clients with all the time. Hello, my beautiful friend. Yay. My bestie, Linda Krause Barnett, who has a show coming up at 10:30. So I'm trying to be on schedule as much as possible. So you guys can hop on to Compass Productions and check out Linda's show Tuned In at 10:30. But in the meantime, we will continue to do this. I will pull a card. And I know it's going to be connected to that GPS. I just know it because that's what happens, and that's today's topic. But let's see what the energy has to tell us, and then we'll talk a little bit more about how to connect with the GPS system that we have already within us, right? Like, if you sit in your car, you can either plug in the coordinates or not plug in the coordinates. You're going to get there one way or another if you're driving the car, right? But if you plug in the coordinates, your trip will probably go a little more smoothly because you'll know when there's traffic. You'll know, you may not know that there's traffic or an accident up ahead, but the GPS system kind of leads you in the way that you need to go to get there, as efficiently as possible. And that's what we can do with our internal system. We can train our internal system. It already exists. It's not training the system at all, actually. It's more just knowing how to access the system and how it works for us. And only you really know how it works for you, but I can certainly help you in sort of what the indications are that it's working. It's always working, it's always working, but when we are intentional about inserting our coordinates, it is definitely much more effective, and life can be a little bit more fun because you don't have to worry about whether or not you're going to get to where you want, because you're like, I already plugged in the coordinates. I know where I'm headed. And then you just have to make sure that you kind of follow the indications or the indicators that the GPS gives you, right? Which is like, turn right, turn left, go straight, don't go this way. And you're like, why? Why am I turning this way? Why am I not going that way? The GPS knows, you got to follow it. All right. I hope that made sense. All right. I'm just going to pull this card first and then we'll keep going. Interesting card. Okay. Here we go. The card that I pulled is number 51, and it is Moonlight. Can you guys see that? There it is. It says Moonlight. Now look at this beautiful, beautiful card. That beautiful, beautiful woman there who has wings, and it looks like dragonfly wings. And it's really interesting because dragonfly is a sign of rebirth. It is a sign of transformation, much like the butterfly, but in its own way. The dragonfly holds its own magic and its own power. And I really do believe that this is an opportunity for us to evolve in a way that we really want to. And the moonlight here is like at night when we are quiet, right? In the evening when there is not no distractions, right? And this is like putting your phone down, turning the TV off. This is where we can really connect to our inner guidance, right? To our GPS system. This is the time where we can give thought to, what do I really want from my life? Who do I really want to be? What kind of person do I want to grow into or evolve into? How do I want to react to the things that happen in my life? And very often we don't, you know, we have control, but we don't always have control over our reactions, because the immediate reaction is very often a trauma response or just like a reflexive response, right? And especially if it's something where you feel threatened or, fear, anxiety in any way, then you're going to immediately react in a way that either may or may not be the way you want to react. So, if there is another way that you'd like to react, if you'd like to learn how to take things in stride, if you'd like to sort of lean into trusting the universe, that the things that happen to you, good or bad, are guiding you to the things that you want, building that trust takes practice. And practicing is exactly what this whole GPS formula is about. It's about practicing. It's about putting something in place. It's about putting in the coordinates and then practicing keeping in line with the coordinates that you have plugged in, that you chose for yourself. All right. And in order to become truly crystal clear, I highly recommend that you get yourself into a quiet place, okay? Go outside, maybe in the moonlight, although it was just a new moon. So it's very sliver, just a little crescent right now. But that doesn't mean that it, cannot support you, because the moon and the earth and the energy of this beautiful creation that we live on is always there to support us, right? So set your intentions. Take some deep breaths. Really think about, what do you want from your life, right? Who who do you know you can be, And I do a lot of this work with, one-on-one with clients, because we talk about sort of the alter ego. There's really three ways, okay? Three ways to connect with the GPS. Now, one of the ways that I've always talked to people about is just picking a word, right? And this we talk about, especially as we get into the new year. You probably see it on social media, like, what's your word, right? So you pick the word that you're going to infuse into your year or into the next 3 months, or a word that you aspire to. Maybe it's connection, maybe it's peace, maybe it's freedom, maybe it's, whatever it is. What is it that you're looking for? And take the time to figure out what emotion is reflective of how you want to feel when you have everything you want, right? If you have dreams of, owning, a beautiful home with, the white picket fence, or, going on vacation, taking vacations every 3 months. Like, if you have this, you want to feel like you're living an abundant lifestyle, what does that look like, right? What does that look like? But more importantly, what does that feel like? Which, it feels expansive. It feels like freedom. It feels like you've made it, right? What is making it feel like to you? Joy, happiness. Like, really dig into that word for you and figure out what word is most reflective of that feeling that you want to capture, that you want to bring into your life as much as possible each and every day. Because this is about a frequency, right? The word captures a frequency, right? The word captures a frequency, the frequency of freedom, and everything in line with that word, that frequency, right? Everything that goes with that feeling for you is what you want to aspire to, right? So, in order for you to get there, you have to bring elements of that feeling into your current life, because what you're doing is you are raising your current vibration to meet that of the freedom frequency, right? So, you have to integrate the feeling of freedom into your life as much as possible, even within your current circumstances. Now, obviously, if you want to, walk into a store, and I always use the abundance thing, because we all want to feel abundant. We all want to feel like we are taken care of, right? And having money very often makes us feel taken care of because it's like, well, if I have these things taken care of, then I feel like I have more freedom to choose, more freedom to do the things that I want to do, as opposed to feeling obligated to do things just to make money. So that's the example I'm using right now. So let's say you want to be able to walk into a store and not look at a price tag and just pick something up and say, I need that. That's really something I need, and take it without even thinking twice, right? Well, how can you do that in your current life? Can you go into a grocery store and go to the organic section and pick something and not even think twice about that? Even though that may seem kind of, you know, minute in comparison, but maybe not. There's lots of people that can't go into a store and pick organic food because it's just more expensive. And if that's your situation, then what can you feel abundant in your life? And if there's nothing financially where you don't feel abundant at all, then you need to turn your focus to what does feel abundant in your life. Maybe it's like, man, I really have a great support system in my life. I'm so grateful. Whenever I call a friend, they are there. I am so supported. And that feeling of support, and focusing on that feeling of how you are fully supported emotionally, that is in the same frequency as the financial support. It really is. But we have to allow that feeling of abundance to permeate, right? Not just be like, well, I have people here, but that doesn't help. They're not paying my bills, right? That it's up to us to shift that frequency and get closer and closer to the frequency that we want. So that's really what this is about. It's about saying, inputting into your GPS, hey, I want to feel freedom. So you're like, freedom, right? And then it's about taking the turns in your life and making the choices in your life that makes you feel abundant, that makes you feel free. So, in whatever choice you're making in your life, each and every time you're faced with a choice, especially the difficult ones, especially the transformational ones, especially, the day-to-day ones, because it is in the small day-to-day details that you are going to practice and build your frequency, right? So if you are practicing what that feels like. So ask yourself, if you're making a decision, which decision is going to make me feel more freedom? Which choice is going to make me feel more abundant? Where can I take control in my life here that I can see that I am being supported? And so we can do that with the GPS word. And I said there's two other ways, right? So the two other ways is, another thing is, if you choose, because people process things differently, feel things differently, look at things differently. So if the word doesn't work for you, maybe you want to imagine it like a color or something visual, right? Where it's like, I really love the color purple. So I want to feel like the color purple makes me feel, right? And so you ask yourself, does this choice, decision, action, does it feel like purple? Now, for those of you who that doesn't resonate with, then that's okay too. I'm just giving you other options, right? The other choice is, of course, and this is number 3, and I came up with this yesterday and I was like, I love this, which is your playlist, right? What is the song that you're playing in your head that really, either in your head or that you actually listen to, that connects you to that feeling, right? So let's say we're talking abundance. Is there a song that you play that when you play it and you're sitting in your car and you're driving and the window's down and you just feel like you're unstoppable? You feel completely free. Whatever that song is, let that song be your guide. Let that song be the foundation of your GPS system. So use that song and be like, does this choice, decision, action, does it bring me closer to the feeling that I get from that song? Or, it's like, no, it's completely opposite. It's nowhere near that song. It's not even in the direction of that song, right? So if that's the case, then you really need to ask yourself, how can I make this feel more like what I want my life to feel like? And sometimes you don't have a choice about your action, right? Sometimes we're faced with things or challenges or situations that come up and we have no control over the action. We just have to kind of accept the situation, but you can shift your perspective and you can look at it as an opportunity to expand or to learn a skill or to increase your patience, increase your resilience, increase your emotional awareness, right? Everything is for you. So no matter what's happening, keep your GPS word, feeling, color in mind. And that is your touchstone. So every time you're faced with something new, different, scary, you bring in your GPS word, color, playlist, or, something else, or start thinking about your alter ego, which we can definitely talk about even more. The alter ego, that version of yourself that's already successful. What would they do? How would they approach the challenges that you're faced with in your life if you knew that you were already that successful person that has everything that they want? So these are some of the ways that you can bring yourself in connection and in alignment with your GPS system. And this is the first step to you creating a life that you feel truly aligned and connected with. And you will be able to create that life all on your own. So, if you need support, reach out to me. Don't forget that I do have the free GPS workbook. There it is. Just go to bit.ly/GPS workbook and you can work through some of this stuff on your own. You can reach out to me if you need support. I did not want to put that on. I just wanted to put my name. I am here every Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. on Facebook, on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and smash that button, get your notifications, and please feel free to spread the word for anyone else that might need a little extra love and support in their day. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. I am so grateful for you being here and joining me. Thank you so much. We'll talk soon.